And welcome back to Hannity. Now, I hate to say it, but we did warn you, and now the disastrous implications of Obamacare, they're starting to be felt all across the country. Now, before we give you the latest numbers, first, let's listen to the president in his own words as he tried to sell you, the American people, on Obamacare. Remember this.
Nothing in this plan will require you or your employer to change the coverage of the doctor you have. That's why my proposal builds on the current system, where most Americans get their health insurance from their employer. If you like your plan, you can keep your plan.
We will start by reducing premiums by as much as $2,500 per family.
That's why I met with representatives of insurance and drug companies, doctors and hospitals, and labor unions who are pledging to do their part to reduce health care costs.
Our cost-cutting measures mirror most of the proposals in the current Senate bill, which reduces most people's premiums and brings down our deficit by up to $1 trillion over the next decade because we're spending our health care dollars more wisely.
Now, unfortunately, none of that is true. Now, here are just the latest examples from this week that prove our point. Now, thanks to Obamacare in California, individual premiums will increase as much as 146%, a staggering figure. But that's not all. According to the latest CBO report, millions of people will remain uninsured despite Obamacare. Now, the CBO projects that in the next 10 years, 31 million people still will not have health insurance. Joining me now with reaction from the Fox Business Network, our friend Stuart Varney, the co-host of The Five, also our friend Dana Perino. Well, apparently, either those numbers are right, either Obama's numbers are right, or the actuary numbers are right. What do you think?
I'm going to go with the actuary.
Yeah.
That's usually probably pretty good advice. Without even trying, the negatives for Obamacare are still at around 55%. I think that's probably even a little bit low. That was the most recent poll that came out. And what you have is the failure of hope over experience. As it's playing out, the hope part of what they thought was going to happen is not happening, and it won't before the deadline of 2014.
Look at these headlines, Stuart. Rate shock in California, Obamacare to increase individual health insurance by up to 146%. CBO, uninsured under Obamacare, never falls below 30 million. Right. What does that mean? Is there a chance that it's going to get overturned?
No. Oh, chance that it's overturned?
No.
I see an opportunity here to defund the IRS as the police force of Obamacare. And if you can defund the IRS, get them out of the coercion business of Obamacare, you can backdoor defund Obamacare and stop it in its tracks. And after what we've seen today, these IRS scandals, I think we've got a good shot at getting the political support to say to the IRS, you are not going to be part of Obamacare at all, get out of it, and that allows us to stop Obamacare in its tracks.
How many people are supposed to be hired just for the implementation?
There's a lot of
16,000.
Thousands. And in fact, one of the things that HHS said today is that they're going to make sure that every document of Obamacare is available in 150 languages. Now, maybe that is something we should be doing as a government, but I also think that there was a much better way to improve health insurance. And what happened is with this is that they got all the good stuff up front. So if you were worried about your child and they were coming out of college, didn't have a job yet, and you worried about them and health insurance, well, now that's okay because they can be on until they're 26. All that stuff people liked about the bill was at the beginning. Now when the bill is coming due, former Speaker Pelosi had to put out a 78-page document to help convince members to go home and tell everybody how great it is.
It's socialized medicine. Look, I'm an Englishman, born and raised in Britain. I know all about socialized medicine. I know all about social medical systems that are falling to pieces because they are run by the government. That's what Obamacare is. It must be reversed.
Let's go to the political point, though, that Dana was making. They're trying to go back home over the 4th of July holiday and convince Americans this is really a good thing. They're going to sell it. But by 2014, this goes into place. What is the political fallout?
This is a very difficult thing to sell. Dana's right. The good is they come up front. The bad stuff is beginning to happen right now. Premiums going up. These exchanges will not be in place by October the 1st, and then we'll get the full implementation on January the 1st. It's going to be chaos. The rules aren't written. The plan is not ready.
So Max Baucus is right. What if it's a train wreck?
It is a train wreck.
Assuming it is, and I believe it will be, and I think we're going to have sticker shock for people. So the question then is, what are the political implications? Because this is January of a midterm.
I think the political implications are bad for Democrats. I think that the policy implication is actually even worse for the country. And Chairwoman Marsha Blackburn, Congresswoman from Tennessee, has a proposal to delay it for 1 year because it's not going to be repealed in time to stop the train wreck. But could they get a delay for 1 year so that you could look at some of these actuarial tables, understand it better, and give people some confidence in the system? I think that is something that the House Republicans should move.
I disagree. I think let the country have their medicine, and then that's the only way you probably will get repealed.
I think chaos is coming. That will be the medicine, and there will be a political reaction to that. But the way to really short-circuit this thing is to get the IRS out of Obamacare, so they cannot be the force of coercion pushing you into it.
And replace it with what? I mean, that's the thing. That's always the answer. They're like, just like
medical savings accounts.
Tort reform. Get the market in place.
Medical savings accounts are great. I would love for everybody to have one, but it's not going to do the job that the IRS has been asked to do.
You know what Kathleen Sebelius said today about this poor, sick 10-year-old girl?
I've been seeing her a lot lately.
Yes,
she's got a lot of things on her plate.
Apparently, she has a secret email account.
Well, she says it's not really that secret. But I think that the Associated Press is the one reporting on questions.
Isn't that true of a lot of senior officials? They've got private, personal email accounts and you can't get at them?
We got to go.
No, that's not true.
I love when you two fight. Why didn't you fight at the beginning? You should have fought at the beginning of the segment.
Next week, we can argue about this next week.
All right. Thanks, guys.